Erik Huizer, first author of the first request for comments to document not only the Internet Engineering Task Force standards process, but also the procedures of working groups. Thank you, Erik Huizer.
Well, I never thought I'd stand here and then have to say a thank you word in the same way that the Oscar winners do. I will thank my mother, but I'll do that a little bit later. I learned today a couple of things. I'm a music lover, and I learned two things today. One is immediately when the news was announced on Twitter, somebody said to me, do you know that will.i.am has a number that is called Hall of Fame? So that's something we should try and listen to tonight. The other one, of course, is that I finally got the meaning of the Oasis number standing on the shoulders of giants, because as has been said before, that's how I feel I am here. It was 1987. I had just finished my PhD, during which I had implemented the IP protocol on some PCs. And my boss, to whom I owe very much, Kees Naggers at that time. Kees, by the way, is also an inductee in the Hall of Fame. He sent me off to an internet meeting in Boston. And I arrived in Boston in a hotel, checked in, came downstairs and feared, what shall I do for dinner? And there I run into Vint Cerf, who didn't know me, of course, but I knew him. So I boldly introduced myself, and Vint said, hey, you want to come to dinner? And I said, well, yes, please. So he shoved me into a cab. And I turned around, and I was sitting besides John Postel, Steve Crocker, and in front was Vint Cerf. The rest, as they say, is history. So then let me start by thanking a couple of people. First of all, my parents, without whom I wouldn't be here. And they always inspired me to think independently. And I think that's one of the main things you can teach your children. Of course, my family. I've been away a lot. And they've always put up with that. My children never understood what I'm doing. They still don't understand what I'm doing here. But one of my daughters remarked, great that you go to Hong Kong, you can buy me a fake Gucci bag. And my employers, NOB, TNO, gave me all the freedom to do whatever I needed to do. But most of all, SurfNet. I used to work there from 2000 to 2012. I came back 2 years ago as CTO, and this is a company that always has worked to build a part of an open, trustworthy, and accessible internet. And that is exactly what I think I've been doing over the last 30 years. Helping to create that open, trustworthy, and accessible internet. I met many fantastic, motivated, driven, and especially fun people in the process, a lot of whom are in this room. And it really inspired me to work even harder on this. And I really thank you all for being here and being my colleagues and working with me. And last thing I want to say is that mid last year I got incredibly angry when I realized that I've been building this open, trustworthy and accessible internet. Well, that's what I thought. And that governments have started misusing this same internet to spy on their own civilians. This is not what we build the internet for. So please, let's continue our work and make sure that governments don't misuse it in this way. Thank you.